Ladies and gentlemen, this is a shout out to Deusirae. I believe that's how your name is pronounced, Deusirae. Shout out to you. You left a link for me concerning Zack Snyder's 300 and why it does not inspire neo-fascists and white supremacist groups in the United States of America. And this is a pretty relatively short article. It's called The True Hollywood Left by Slavoj Zizek. And basically he says that Zack Snyder's 300 is about 300 Spartan soldiers who sacrificed themselves at Thermopylae in halting the invasion of Xerxes' Persian army. Okay? They say that it is the worst kind of patriotic militarism and clear allusions to the recent tensions with Iran and events in Iraq. Now let me just say this. They said, this is Sparta, right? They were about to defend their little city of Sparta in Greece from advancing Persian invasion. This is not the situation in the United States of America, where you have white supremacists and neo-fascists who feel threatened that other racial groups are getting mobility in other areas and other fields. This is totally different. So these people, they're just defending their country because another country's coming in to invade it. Now you can say, oh, well, these neo-fascists, this is what they think. They think that their country is being invaded. It's not your country, first of all. The neo-fascists and they weren't the people who first were on American shores. If I do recall, it would have been the Taínos or the Native Americans who got kicked out of their country, right? So that first point is fallacious. Second of all, these people have all the control. Right now, the race, if you want to talk about race, I don't think race exists, but anyway, the race that actually has control of everything is the white race. Okay? They have control of education, the education facilities, the technology, the military, etc. So how can you say these are the people who have all the power and all the control? They're the majority. We have minority groups. They may become the majority later on in America, but for the present moment, they are minorities. And the bulk of landmass is occupied by white people. Okay, the majority of the landmass of the United States of America is owned by white people and occupied by them. So they're the majority. So if you're going to talk about the Spartans somehow inspiring these people to take action, then they got to have something in common with the Spartans. And the Spartans, they were small. They were a minority. And Persia was a powerful empire coming down on them. The fact that this story, which is actually written as a comic, 300, why it's written is because it's saying it's an incredible feat that this small amount of men were able to take on an entire army of thousands and thousands of soldiers, an invasion, and hold them off. That's what makes the story so awesome. It's like the Magnificent Seven. It's like the Seven Samurai. It's that kind of story. So that's what this article pretty much kind of goes into other things. And it's saying the big bully couldn't bully the little guy. And the little guy, he stood up. Kind of like Rocky, kind of like, how we shoot for the underdog. The underdog managed to defend their turf. They died, all of them died out. But they successfully defended their turf and was able to stop the advancement of the Persian Empire. All of them lost their lives, like the Magnificent Seven, like the Seven Samurai. But in the process, justice was done. You didn't bully the little guy. That was the point behind 300, okay? And interestingly enough, the coup d'etat started inside of the story with the Spartans, because the Spartan king, he had gone to the supposedly seer guys, and these seer guys were actually sabotaging them and milking them, and they realized that, and he left their stuff. He didn't abide in that anymore. So he was like a renegade in that respect. And I thought that Zack Snyder did a pretty good job of showing that they were not going to compromise, and they were willing to spill their blood for a cause. Neo-fascists don't have no damn cause. They just think they're superior to everyone else. White supremacists don't have no damn cause. They just feel they're superior to everyone else, and they think they should ethnically purge other people. That wasn't the case with Sparta. Sparta wasn't trying to ethnically purge anyone. If you want to liken Sparta onto something, liken Sparta onto D-Day, liken Sparta onto World War II, where a tiny little country like France rebelled against Germany and their invading forces. Talk about, England getting bombed relentlessly by Germany, but Churchill held the fort. If you want to really talk about Sparta, that's how you refer to it, because they're the underdogs. They're outflanked. Germany was just sweeping through, cleaning out shop. All right. Of course, thanks to Russia, Russia kind of stopped Germany's halt, but they had sheer numbers. So we don't talk about Russia. We talk about the little guys like France, like England. These are small dudes taking bombing and everything, and they took the brunt of the trauma, and then and most of Europe, and then they fought back along with the Allies. So if you want to talk about something, you gotta liken the metaphor into something that's likened. And there's nothing really similar to these white supremacists or these neo-fascists or Iran and Iraq controversy. It's much deeper than that. And again, I don't have a problem defending Zack Snyder, because I know Zack Snyder is not that kind of dude. He's not. Zack won't make political statements, first of all, because Zack's not that kind of dude. Second of all, Zack's not playing political games with his movies. He's giving you his ideologies on life. He's giving you his opinion on life passionately. And Zack's done so many other movies that should have sent that message across by now. He's not on that. And people have always tried to belittle Zack Snyder. I'm not quite sure why. They try to say, oh, he's just an action director. Now they're saying he's a neo-fascist. And it's the left doing this. Okay? And because of your unrighteous actions in Hollywood and the left slant that you do to attack and slander Zack Snyder, because you're doing that, we're getting kickback now on the right with these ridiculous set of people. And you're paying for, like I said in the video before, what you cast out, it come back at you. It may have come back at you through the traditional routes, but it'll come back at you. And I thought the far left or the left, they're being ridiculous now. Okay, they're not alt left. There's no such thing as the alt left. But let's just make it abundantly clear: there is ridiculousness on the left side as well. And stop over politicizing things. You guys need to call it for what it is, and that's it. All right? Don't over politicize something, because then nobody can respect your opinion. It'll be like right versus left. This is not a time to be right versus left out here in this world, right? Not with this kind of leadership that's going on. You really want to stay focused on the real issues and the real facts, and stop trying to play for political points right now, because it's far deeper and it's much more serious than that. If you keep on squabbling left versus right, guess what? People will lose sight, because they can't trust you. They can't trust what you're saying. And so this thing will actually go to its decisive conclusion, which will be this dude will literally take over and become a dictator. You can't be fighting. You can't be fighting right now. You guys got to unite. Both the right side and the left side. You guys got to unite to deal with this. This is a bigger threat than right versus left right now. Okay? Right? I'm not a guy who's a right winger. I'm not a left winger either. All right? I'm a guy that can see strong points in both areas. But don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. This dude and the regime that he's trying to put in place is going to hurt America bad, but also the rest of the world. Where I live is going to be affected by it. So, I'm just saying. You guys have a good one.